Alright, welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Florida Boy, and you know where you are at. You are on my channel. So today we're going to bring the top 5 favorite flashlights in my collection under 100 bones. Let's get into it. So today's video is going to be super straightforward. We're just going to talk about my 5 favorite flashlights in my collection that are under $100. And it's a, you know, honestly, it was kind of an easy pick for all these flashlights. I say easy, it's also hard because I love a lot of the flashlights in my collection. But we're just going to be talking about my favorite lights for, you know, value-wise, price to value to what you get for the light. So we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to go ahead and jump into the number 5 spot. This is the RovyVon A9 Pro. This is the Gen 2 model, actually. So he is the new iteration of the A9 Pro, and you get a solid 650 lumens out of this. Of course, mine is the copper variant. And, you know, if you order these straight from RovyVon, you get a couple different options. You can have some tritium installed. You have some trit slots here at the top. Tritium is super cool. We'll go over that here in a second. And you can either choose high output or high CRI. I am a high CRI type boy. And there we go. We can see that this thing is just double click to turn it on. And then you can press to just, oh, well, double click. I didn't mean to hold. Just press to cycle through your modes. It's super easy. Not a whole lot to it. Press and hold again to turn it off. Very, very easy light to use. Like I said, there's not a whole lot to the function now that I've had several RovyVons. I haven't had any issues. They really do. They operate very well. The pod clips are very good. This does have a USB-C port on the side of the light itself. It will come with the charging cord for that. Just in case you were wondering, the clip itself also does have a magnet on it, so it is able to, you know, magnetize, stick to things while you're working. Not really a whole lot of tail standing going on because you do have a very, very, very small butt to this thing. But you can reverse the clip if you wanted to be able to stick this to a baseball cap or, you know, a hat or something. And you'll be able to shine it out kind of like a headlamp. So this light, very versatile, plenty bright enough. The moonlight is great. And really, like I said, really not a whole lot of complaints about this light. This light was sent to me for free to do a review on. I have since done that review, and it is still one of my favorite lights. So no gimmicks here. This thing is really, really, really awesome. And I promise if you pick one of these up that if you're just looking at the feature wise, you're really, really going to enjoy this. It's a little wonky at first to get used to their UI, but it's really, really not bad. And if you've played around with Enduro before, this will be super, super easy for you. So definitely make sure you give the RovyVon A9 Pro a good look. Like I said, it's one of my top 5 for sure. And honestly, it was between this and one of the other RovyVons that has a UV light on it. But this is definitely my favorite. I had to think about it for a second, but then I was like, no, it's the A9 Pro for sure. So RovyVon A9 Pro Generation 2. Gen 1 is just as good. They have made some really good changes on the Gen 2, so I urge you to look for the Gen 2 whenever you're looking at these. And yeah, we'll move on to the next one. So coming in at the number 2 spot, this is the Raylight Pineapple. And oh man, what a good light. And of course, I don't have a battery in here. Hold on, let me see. I might... there's one. So this thing takes AA's or 14500s. And oh man, the beam on this, go ahead and click that off. The actual beam on this is just such a gorgeous beam. You'll see. Here we go. So there you go. Beautiful high CRI. It's got a glow ring. I don't know if you can see the glow gasket in there. Here, I can make this easier. Ah, there you go. Now you can see it. So it does have a glow ring in there, which is I think amazing. I love anything that glows. You do have a tritium slot up top. The price on these really aren't bad. For that RovyVon, you can find those around 50 bucks. I can't remember if I said that. You can get these for about 60. And if you get into one of these, this was my introductory light into the custom flashlight world. And I never looked back after I got into this. Then I started buying, the expensive flashlights, like the customs. So this light is absolutely amazing. You can find them in all different types, titanium, there's brass, this is copper, of course. I think I picked this one up from CountyCom. It did come with a charger, and it's definitely been one of my favorites. It's got that really nice pineapple knurling. These are designed by a guy named, I think, Ray Yee or something to that effect, which is where Raylight gets its name from. He's always been a flashlight enthusiast. He makes really, really awesome lights. And like I said, this is one of those flashlights that if you pick one up, I doubt you're going to have any hard feelings about it. As far as momentary, it does not have momentary on, but once you turn it on, if you can momentary press to cycle through all the settings or all the different brightnesses. And it's really easy to use. Not a whole lot of flashy or gimmicky things on there. And the price is great. Like I said, you can usually pick them up for about 60 bucks. There are a couple variations besides metal to this. And the other, I can never remember what it is, what it's called. It'll say Raylight Pineapple. There's also a mini version. Ooh, sorry. And there's another version that has of this full size light that has tritium slots all over it. I can never remember what I want to call it a LAN, but it's not LAN. It's something else, I think. But basically the same light, just has a bunch of tritium spots on it, so you can customize it a little bit more. I'll probably be picking one of those up in titanium. I've been looking at it for a hot minute. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the skinny on this guy. It is running a Nishia 219B emitter, so I mean that's what I'm saying. That's why it's such a gorgeous output. And it's not a high power light. Your max is gonna be 470 lumens. So if we turn this on, we're on Moonlight, which is 0.2 lumens. Then we go to 8.5 lumens, 90 lumens, or excuse me, I messed that up. I haven't really used this light in a while. So there's your 470 lumens. So I couldn't see that it was on with the Moonlight. So there's the 0.2 lumens, super, super, super light Moonlight mode. So 0.2, 8.5, 90, 470. And that's when you have a 14500 battery in there. And yes, it did come with it. So this has been the Raylight Pineapple. And like I said, I also have the Raylight Pineapple Mini. The Mini is really nice too, but the actual Raylight Pineapple, I think, is the way to go, especially when you're looking at price. And I picked mine up from CountyCom. I don't know if I can't remember if I mentioned that either. But you should definitely look at CountyCom. I will put a link down in the description below. CountyCom, please sponsor the channel. No, I'm just kidding. CountyCom always has really, really good stuff, and sometimes they end up with these flashlights, and they bundle them up with chargers and batteries and stuff, and you will get all of that for the same price that you get the light from the manufacturer, from Amazon or anything like that. So make sure you check them out. That is a super awesome website. And yeah, we'll move on to the next one. So I had to include this. This is the Imalent LD70 EDC. Now, this light, mine is not charged. Full disclosure. I realized that the other day whenever I pulled this out for doing some beam shots. So there's some good and some bad things about this light. So first thing that we're going to talk about is the price, which is a really, really good thing. So from Imalent, this light only runs about 40 bucks. So this is a very budget-friendly light. Being that with me, if you don't know me, I say pretty much anything under $50 is considered budget. But this is going to make this this top 5 video for flashlights under $100 because it's so good. But normal price for this is about $60. So, but you can find them pretty often for well under $50. So we're just going to go with the normal price, which is $60, which is why I'm putting him on this list for top 5 lights under 100 in my collection, and may end up being on the top 5 budget lights too. We'll see. I'm super impressed with this light. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So they do boast on their website, Imalent does, that this is the brightest mini flashlight on the market. And I'm kind of on that train. It's pretty dang good. The maximum output of this little guy is 4,000 lumens, which is insane. I will let you know that from my testing and the things that I have done, that when you have it on 4,000 lumens, it gets hot, very, 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 very fast. So keep that in mind. I think the 4,000 lumens, which is the turbo mode, is just mainly meant for a burst. It's not something you want to leave it on, until it steps itself down. Might be decently common knowledge, but I just want to reiterate that because it does get very hot if you decide to pick this up. So it does have a lanyard loop. You can see here I have just a nice little leather lanyard with a little snake knot on the end, and then this is an Olight Damascus bead. And that the only reason why that's on there is because it does not have a pocket clip, if you have not noticed. And this is one of the first lights I bought and that doesn't have a pocket clip. And I say bought, I didn't buy this. This was sent in by Imalent for me to do a review on, and that time has hence passed. And I still one of my favorite lights. I mean, good Lord, 4,000 lumens. So it's pretty easy to use. If you can see right now, it does have a screen on it, which is something I really, really like. If we hit the fire button 4 times, you can see we unlock, and then you are ready to start using the light. So if you press and hold for a second, we'll go into, well, hopefully she's not too dead. Okay. There we go. So 20 lumens. So we're at 20, 200, 900, 2,000, double tap, 4,000. There we go. There it is. And it's super easy to use. Not a whole lot to it. It's also got a strobe mode, and that's one of my favorite things about it. It's super easy to use. Whenever you have a flashlight, you don't want something super complicated unless you're very used to like Endural systems, which they still trying to get to like the flickers and the flashies and stuff on Endural still confuses me sometimes. And I've used an Endural light for a while, so it's like anything else, takes some time to master it. But this Imminent LD70 is very, very good. The price is excellent. And now let's talk about the one thing that I am not that happy with, and it's this right here. This does not have a removable battery, and it is a proprietary magnetic charger. So it's not like the chargers are impossible to get, but if you don't have a backup and something happens to the charger, you got to order another one. Now I will say battery life on this light is excellent. I've literally charged this light twice, I think, since I've owned it, and it's been a couple months. And it's just now finally starting to die on me. But we can do 3 clicks and we can see what the battery voltage is. Oh, well, see, that's funny. It doesn't show that the battery's dying now. I did a video on the Seeker 4 Mini, and I think if you remember, if you watched that video, I used this light for comparison, and when I turned it on, it said it had a dead battery, but now it's showing that it's got a charge. That's interesting. Okay. Maybe it just, I was really going to say sat for too long. It really hasn't sat that long. Anyways, so this is running a Cree XHP 70.2 LED, if that means anything to you. I just thought I would include it. And yeah, that's about it. It's a great flashlight. You can find them at really good prices. It has an amazing output. And cons is magnetic charging, no pocket clip. That's about it. Heats up really fast whenever you're running 4,000 lumens. The 2,000 lumens isn't too bad. There we go, 2,000 lumens doesn't heat up near as bad as the 4,000, but it still does get kind of hot pretty quick. But it is a small flashlight, so what do you it's kind of like what do you expect scenario. But anyways, Imminent LD70 in the number 3 spot. So the next ones were really, really hard, and we're just gonna do kind of the way I first thought it, because the first thing you think is always the way you want to go. So number 2 spot is my LM10, my Lumintop LM10, and this light has been my number one for a super long time. I love this flashlight. I've added some Lumintop glow tubes to it. You can see we've got 3 up top. There we go. We've got 3 up top. I've got them surrounding the sides. I've also replaced the optics on the inside, and they have some Lumintop turbo glows in there. And then I put a sapphire crystal glass on the top. Changed it to smooth instead of orange peel. I've done a little bit to this light. I love this light. It is a little bit more. This is pushing the $100 mark. This is, I think, right at $100, but these do go on sale on Amazon for like, I think I got this for like 30% off. I think I paid like 60 or 70 bucks for it. So you can get these for a really good deal. So just keep an eye out. I know it's like their 10-year anniversary light, and it should be a limited run, but they've been on the market for a minute, and you can get a good deal on these. So just keep an eye out for that. So let's talk about the light itself. I did order mine on Amazon, and this is actually the replacement to the original one I ordered on Amazon. The one I ordered did have a spot on the back that it felt like someone had dropped it, and it was kind of sharp. That didn't bother me, but after like a couple weeks, the light just didn't turn on anymore. So I, got a hold of Amazon, sent it back. They sent me a replacement, and I have had 0 issues with this light in the past few months that I've been carrying it, and absolutely love this light. So 2800 lumens. This thing runs on Anduril software. So, you have smooth ramping, or you can do static ramping. But with smooth ramping, really, there's not like I can tell you the lowest. It's got a moonlight, but then it will just slowly ramp up to the high output, and then you can double click for turbo. So you've kind of got all different types of lumens you can run on there. So that's kind of one of my main things about it, is you can really adjust this to whatever brightness that you want, and you're not just kind of stuck with the factory settings. So that's really cool on Anduril. Anduril's super customizable, which is super cool. Just think of it as like Android for a flashlight. Your flashlight. This is basically the Samsung of flashlights. Not much else to say. This thing is IPX8 waterproof. So, I mean, literally it's good for anything. Like I said, mine's copper. You can get it in titanium, brass, and I think that's it. Titanium, brass, and copper. Pretty sure. Either way, but runs on an 18650 battery, and like I said, I think this is absolutely one of the best flashlights. Super customizable. If anybody knows where I could get the titanium pocket clip for this, please reach out to me. If you've got an extra one laying around, I will buy it from you. That is the only thing that I cannot find for this dang light, is any of those titanium pocket clips. So definitely number 2 spot here, LM10. Such an amazing flashlight. Definitely worth a check out for any flashaholic. So number 1 spot, and it was actually really easy. This is a new flashlight, and I have been praising this thing since I got it. Olight asked me if I wanted to do a review on the Secret 4 Mini, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And they sent it in, and I opened it up, did the unboxing video, and almost immediately knew that this was going to be like my favorite flashlight. And this is just such a good flashlight, and I only have like one minor nitpick about it. These things run $80 full price without any kind of discounts. If you want to get a discount on this, I have a discount code for Olight, FBE10. I also have a link. I'll have all that stuff down in the description below. So just drop down there and take a look if you're interested in picking one of these up. So moving on from that, like I said, this light, absolutely amazing. It's definitely not going to win any awards for high power, being that its max output is 1200 lumens, but you do have 2 LEDs, and that third one being a UV light. So, yeah, that's, to me, that's awesome. I use UV lights all the time, and I really wanted to like that last arc feld that had the UV light on it. I'm just not a square flashlight guy, which is funny because a lot of people love square flashlights, but I prefer round lights, you know, it's just kind of what I like. So moving on from that, this light, ergonomics, excellent. You know, you get a little bit of a hot spot depending on where you hold this from that pocket clip. If you're holding it just like this and you're hitting the fire button, it feels pretty good. You're resting your fingers on the pocket clip. The pocket clip, I think, could have been done a little bit differently, but you know, aside from that, that's one of my main little nitpicks. Second thing, of course, is always going to be the Olight batteries. This is running the Olight 18350 battery. I'm not a huge fan of the proprietary batteries, but they work well. So, you know, it is what it is. Not a huge deal. Magnetic charging, another proprietary Olight piece, their magnetic charger. It does work with the Omino, which is great because I use the Omino a lot. So, no complaints there. Zero issues. And like I said, the best thing about this is I can press and hold to go to moonlight. And then you press and hold. You can cycle through all the brightnesses. Double tap. Oops, there we go. Double tap. There's your turbo, 1200 lumens. When the light's off, double tap. And you can see here that we have our UV light. See? Nice and easy. And then, of course, you got a little indicator here. So if let me show you the first thing first. So if I turn this on, it's green, and that's to show us battery level. I talked about this. This is a little weird. If you go to moonlight by pressing and holding, it will not give you the battery level. You have to go to a different brightness to see the battery level. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish that you could have had the shake feature like from the Baton 3 Pro Max and a couple of the other lights, but that's a small nitpick, not a huge deal. If we press and hold, moonlight will come on, goes off. Now we're in lockout mode, and that's about it. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's super easy to use. It's got UV, it's got 1200 lumens, which is plenty good. And the battery life is pretty excellent. It's not, you know, in the grand scheme of things, from a lot of the stuff we see. Let me go ahead and flip this light around so that we can actually read Seeker 4 Mini. From the grand scheme of things, from lights that we see from Olight, that is not the brightest light in the world. But if you're running, you know, moonlight mode most of the time, which I can usually get away with, you'll get 12 days out of it. Or if you just run low mode, you get like 30 some odd hours. And so runtime is pretty good. Not bad for an 18350. Durability test. I would have really liked to have seen, it's so hard to see. It's so hard because a little bit bigger of a battery with a little bit higher output, but then the light itself would have had to have been bigger, and I really like the size. So it's hard to kind of wrap it all up, you know what I mean, into like one one little nitpick. I hope they make more iterations of this light. Is kind of what I surmise out of my nitpicks for this light. Like the things I dislike are so small, and it's mainly just like, if I would have designed this, these are the smallest little tweaks that I would have made just to make it a little bit better. But aside from that, I really like the light. I love the form factor. This is just, if you skipped this on this sale, I'm telling you, it's such a good light. So that is my number one favorite light at the moment in my collection. So we'll go ahead and slide all these guys back out here. So we've got uno, dos, I'm not going to count all this in Spanish. Number 3, right here, the Raylight Pineapple. That is the Lumintop LM10. And then we have the Imminent LD70. And then, of course, we have our RovyVon A9 Pro in copper. And these are my top 5 favorite flashlights in my collection. And they're all awesome. I love them. So let me know which one your favorite flashlight is in your collection. Or you can let me know which one of mine that is your favorite. And yeah, thanks again for stopping by and checking out the video. I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Thanks again, guys. Catch you on the next one.